Hello all and welcome to the Plastic Fiends YouTube channel. I am Mark Metzger.
And this is Ryan Rao.
We are coming to you from beautiful Ottawa Park Disc Golf Course in Toledo, Ohio, and this is hole one. Teeing off, forehanding a Star Destroyer. Pin is about 312 dead ahead. You can kind of see it in the background.
You can either take that inside forehand line, or if you're a backhand dominant player, you can really go over the short pad there and kind of hyzer it towards the pin. I just kind of leave my forehand a little too right, and it smacks a tree, and I got pretty good ways to go to the pin yet. Taking my machete there, swirly machete. Very, very overstable disc that I like to forehand. I put it about within 30 there.
Here I'm going with a putt and approach AVR, nose up on Annie. Put it about 20 feet out.
Just cleaning up a putt here for par. One of my classic blend judges I like to putt with. Currently switching over to AVRs, I don't know. Just feel a little bit better, but that's since the video.
And nice easy tap in for the par.
Hole 2 here is to the left, in between these two trees there. Just a nice Annie backhand, or if you can sneak a forehand under some of those low-hanging branches, that's also a good play.
Here I'm throwing a S-line FD. Just leave it a little wide, end up right under the branches.
Got my Star Wraith out, trying to give it a little Annie as well. Kind of keep it underneath the branches. Maybe slide up underneath the pin. Got over on it nicely. It was turning, but those branches always seem to hang everybody up. That's the number one problem on this hole.
And here we'll have two fairly routine upshots. I happen to go about 30 deep, looking uphill at the bend.
Pretty similar upshot here from pretty much the same area, and just comes out of my hand a little early. Still got about a 25 footer. And the putt for par. Airball. Yep, airball the 25 footer. We got a healthy comebacker as well. Left a lot of meat on the bone, like I like to do so well.
And then what happened here?
Just bad putting. I'm just missing right. I miss right a lot. Working on that for sure. But yeah, just ugly. Real ugly. Finish with the turbo. There we go.
Bringing a nice little double bogey 5. And here I am, up the hill. Cash all day, every day.
I wouldn't say. And here's hole 3. It's just right down that hallway there you see. It's a healthy little pump. I'd say it's one of the longer holes from the longs here at Ottawa, but it's just a nice straight backhand.
Plays about 350. I take my PD, just a little too much angle, a little low, finish short.
And I got another one of my Star Wraiths. That's probably one of my favorite distance drivers. Just try to hyzer flip it up a little bit, but it's a little beefier than I thought it was. It just kind of kicked left, and I got a nice little forehand tight corridor here, if you'd call it a corridor. The pin is just behind these trees on the left there.
And just goes black hole.
Yeah, popped it up. Yeah, popped it up down that hallway, and she disappeared.
And way too nose up on my approach. Finishes a little short.
Still got a decent putt at it though. I still probably got at least 50 here to the pin at least. Just give a nice little jump putt.
Yoink.
Yeah, from my angle, I was straight on. I thought I cashed it, but it was deep.
And here I am for my par putt.
Clang. Yeah. This hole.
As per usual, leaving it short. Playing in the front rim. It will not be the first one you see.
Just a nice little clean up the bogey here. Right at the camera. There you go. Here's hole 4 from the longs. You can approach it a couple different ways. The traditional ways, just a backhand right up the middle there. I know a lot of players off to the left of that tree on the left side of the fairway that you can forehand. There's a little gap that you can fit it in, but this is the traditional play here, just taking a putter or a mid or maybe even a driver, get a little skip up to the basket, but it's about, what does that say?
About 250, 270.
Yeah.
I threw my FD, same FD I threw on hole 2. Just light with a little hyzer.
I got an opto compass here, just left it a little bit lower than I wanted to, but still got a putt at it. About a 30, 35 footer. I just left it a little bit short, you know. I really abuse the front of the basket. Surprised I haven't got a lawsuit yet.
About a 22 footer. Dead center.
It's a nice 2 for sure.
Moving on to hole 5.
This is a tough hole, I think. One of the tougher holes from the longs. I mean, you just take a driver and you try to give it a little turn like Mark did there. He just got unlucky and caught a tree and kicked a little bit left. I personally, as you're going to see, like to take a very overstable disc and try a little flex forehand. But, I mean, it's kind of tough. You got to hang it high enough to get down the whole fairway, but there's also some limbs that you'll see. And I kicked right.
Nearly OB. The
Almost
road
OB.
is OB.
Yeah, sometimes that hill there can suck your disc down, and you have to play some Frogger to get it back every once in a while.
And up.
Just giving it a run.
Not in. Easy 3. Easy 3. And here I am expecting to get an easy 3 and just completely saw off my Heisebaum mortar, big German edition. Leave myself with about a 28 footer straddling out.
What are you putting with, Mark?
Right now, classic AVRs as I cash that straddle. But just recently went back to McPro AVRs.
Good choice. 4 times, yeah. And here's hole 6. Another tight hallway down there. A lot of people opt for the flex forehand, as you'll see. Mark just got a little low.
The bleep out an expletive. Being frustrated with myself leaving that one low. That was a Star Destroyer.
Taking the machete again on a flex forehand line. Didn't quite get it out there as far as I'd like, but there's a concrete pad out there, and about any time you're around there, it's a pretty comfortable 3. What a tough little patent pending shot here, I see.
With the classic AVR.
You gave it a nice healthy bid from back there. It was a nice turnover.
It was a real nice shot out of the hand. Held that line the entire way there. Should be a 3 from there.
I thought I was going to get a little tree love, but
little tree kiss.
I did not. And nice little 15 footer there, and I will pick up my judge and finish with a turbo, as I like to do about anything inside 15.
The camera tapping.
The camera tapping. You'll see a lot of those. Here's hole 7, and hole 7 is pretty. I think it's a little tougher from the longs than it is the shorts. Obviously, the hole is tucked pretty far down to the right. The main play here is probably just going to be a big backhand turnover, as you see. Mark takes his FD. Is that? Yeah, you got the FD.
That little Zott white FD.
I'm taking something that I think a little bit more flippy. It's the Thrasher from Discraft, and you can just really turn these things over really nicely. And this thing just felt so good out the hand, and
what did it almost do?
It almost cashed this. I mean, you can't really see it from this angle, but this thing came down. As you can see my reaction there, I thought I had dunked that for sure.
This hole on the sign says it plays 381, and that would be one hell of a blind ace.
Yeah, that would be a nice blind ace. I mean, I'm in the mulch here, so I knew it had to be pretty close. It didn't even stall out. I mean, that disc is so understable that you throw it with any kind of velocity, flat or on any ante, that's just gonna hold it the entire way. Thrasher is a good disc for that, I think.
For most, a 3 on this hole is a good score, but a 2...
It's definitely a bonus 2.
Definitely a bonus birdie, exactly.
And here's hole 8. From a short pin, it's just a nice little hyzer with a putter or a mid-range, but from the longs, it's a little bit of a true driver hole. I just take a Sexton Firebird and just leave it out a little too far left, didn't come back as much. And what are you taking on this hole?
I'm throwing a little bit of a beat up Discmania PD. Thing just holds dead straight, and
Uh-oh, what do we got here?
fades like a PD does.
Ooh,
Little bit of an ace run there.
just buzz the top of the basket here. I got about 25 on the bone here, almost 30. Rock back and
cash.
that's nice. Back-to-back birdies get me back off that
Great putt. Little camera angle finesse with the on top of the basket.
I love it. Here's hole 9. Just a big. It's up on top of the hill there to the left. To the left of that little fern in the fairway. I'm taking the same Sexton Firebird and lacing it. It just went a little too straight. It's just to the right of that bush in the fairway.
Here I'm taking a little bit more overstable S-line PD, working its way towards the basket. Leaves me with about a 20-footer.
Shot.
It's kind of a death putt because on top, the basket's at the top of the hill and down the bottom side, as you'll see, like I do. I airball it and I got an uphill putt, pretty tough uphill putt coming back.
And the putt is not in. Going
Clang. I
Another-
think your nickname should be Clang.
Another putt left short.
Yeah,
Never
see,
want to see that. Never want to see that.
my disc went pretty far down the hill and here's a little turbo putt I got for you.
Turbo.
Perfect. Low center chains with a rocker.
And here we go, hole 10. Just probably the longest hole on the course.
I'd say.
Maybe that or 14, but this plays right around that 400 mark.
I got that thrasher out again, that really understable disc. I wanted to hyzer flip it to get a little turn, but I just kept it too close to the trees. But I ended up squirting inbounds past the road.
Here I'm going with my understable destroyer, flipping it and just hoping to get through those two pine trees guarding the basket. And I don't. Left with a short little pitch up with the Nova. Nice easy 3.
Yeah, I'm right up next to that road there. Stayed in bounds. I just gotta pitch up, but I again came out of my hand a little early.
It doesn't come out of your hand early. That might go in the basket.
Possibly had some decent height, but another turbo cleanup there. That'll move us to hole 11.
Tough hole
Quite,
for the
yeah.
longs.
I mean, from the shorts, it's just an easy mid-range hyzer, but from the longs, you got to get creative. I mean, you go overstable turnover here.
Hoping to get that fade back. I went with PD. Just didn't have enough overstability.
And I just made a complete wrong disc choice here. I mean, I thought I could get over it and it would come around back. I threw the dynamic criminal, which is super overstable, and it was just a terrible disc choice. And I'm left with probably a 90 to 100 footer, and oof,
Good bid.
just a little long.
Here I am straddling out from behind the tree about 50 feet. Just too wide.
Yep,
Felt
so
good, just
Easy,
a little wide.
easy cleanups here, and just another camera finish.
Quote unquote easy cleanups. What is this? Oh,
That's
that's my
another-
disc rolling away. Yeah.
Oh, another clang.
Come on.
You've given up 3 strokes so far today.
Yeah, 3 strokes on inside 20 feet.
Inside 20 feet. But you still got me by a stroke here coming into hole 12. I mean, pretty similar shots from the shorts and the longs. It's out there about 280, 300 or so.
Probably about 300 from the longs.
Yeah. Just take a nice forehand like I did up the middle, have it fade right, or Mark elects for the hyzer shot a lot.
A little bit of an FD3. Just hung it out a little too wide, but still came back to give me a nice little putt.
I got about a 40 footer here, maybe even more.
40, 45.
Yeah. And just a pretty weak bid at that one. I don't know, just left it short.
Fluffed it.
Fluffed it for sure.
And I do not fluff it. I just missed the basket completely.
Airball.
And another one.
Another one, DJ Khaled. Here's 13. Just keep a mid-range straight or a driver straight. I mean, I take a mid-range, but I keep it a little too low there. That's the compass again. Get that up in the air and then just carry it straight and then hyzer to the left. It's underneath that big tree on the left. Marks is throwing a driver here. It's going to fade and skip nicely towards the pin. He's got to drop in for 2.
I threw one of my little bit more stable FDs, just letting the disc do the work and glide over there rather than forcing a mid route from about 60 over the basket.
Yeah, just
Not a bad effort. Easy tap in with the turbo cam.
turbo cam is successful.
And then through the chains. Cash all day. Easy 2.
And here is the hole 14. I know a lot of people don't like walking up to this one from the longs. It's pretty tough. It's out there, probably about 360, but you got these 2 trees here off the tee that are definitely beat up pretty well. Mark goes with a roller and actually ends up pretty nice. Even though it's hard to follow with the camera, it goes far left and then it comes back right, but it ended up pretty good.
Yeah, it was actually the first time I've ever thrown a roller on that hole, and I think if I'd just throw it a little bit more and learn how to throw it, it would work out a lot better. But that Wraith worked out just fine. What were you throwing?
I took my beat up Star Excalibur, and if I throw it flat, it'll kind of turn over and go decently straight with a little bit of ante actually, and then come back hard right at the end like it did. Almost a little too hard right. I'm up next to the road here. I got about 80 to 100 feet left, and I'm just taking my machete again. I'm just gonna flick it in between the trees and. Sorry, that was not my machete. That was the Excalibur again. Oh, I went to clean up the par and missed with the turbo putt.
No camera luck.
No camera luck for sure.
Yeah, he cleans up his 4. I clean up my 3 with the trusty old Nova. Moving on to 15.
15 from the shorts is an easy 2, but from the longs it's a monster.
It's a daunting hole. Either way, you leave your shot too far right, you're bringing the parking lot down the hill into serious play. I opt for the turnover rock shot. Rao elects for the forehand Firebird. Both safe up on the hill. Both
the tree there.
Scary looks.
Yeah. See to the right there, that parking lot does play OB, and it's nice to be where Mark is, or even on the backside, because you're not putting towards the OB. But where I ended up, right behind the basket, if you float it long, it's gonna go OB. But I just try to make a nice little bid at it. But I
and OB.
Yeah. Left that one way too high, and we're putting from the out of bounds there, and another just.
Look at myself with the jukes. Went right under the foot.
And we'll clean up a what, 5?
A circle 5er.
Circle 5. Yeah, that'll bring you back +4. And hole 16 is just a straight shot down the hallway. Mark takes a FD again, I think.
Lovely white FD. Little turn.
That's a great shot.
Back.
I mean, that's about one of the best ways that you can play this hole. I think I got the Thrasher out again, that understable disc. Gonna hyzer flip it, hopefully to get down the hallway there. It just, like I said, it's way too flippy. I just turned it way over out of my hands.
Finishes under that tree, which is a pretty common spot. You either
Yeah.
find yourself on this tree to the right or directly to the left, out of frame, in this little cluster of trees.
Got my machete out again, just trying to skip it up underneath the basket.
Not quite, but it'll work. And here I am for my deuce look. About 25, 30 cash.
I guess Toos does work.
Deuce? I
Yeah, it
like
does
it.
work.
I like it.
It's 2 deuce. And the par
Route
putt
for the
here.
par. Just squeaking it over the rim.
Talk about just squeaking it over. Brings that 2 brings Mark to -1, and I'm still at +4. But here's 17. The play is this big hyzer out here as Mark will take with a PD.
Yeah, a little pink sea line PD, and just watch the skip. See you later.
Big old skip there. Or you can go up the middle to the left of this tree.
A lot
in front
scary
of
of a route.
Yeah, there's a lot of trees you gotta mess around with. But I just take a Punisher from Discraft. A nice overstable disc.
A little wide.
A little wide, but it'll skip. The basket's on a hill. As you see, I'm on the back side of the hill for my 2 putt here. And just leave that one a little short too.
And here we have a little Raz by some falling walnuts.
I think the squirrels were called in an airstrike.
Trying to get me. And they got me.
They
I
got
leave
your
the
head.
putt a little short yet again. And 2 threes on 17. Respectable scores. Definitely want to get a deuce on that hole, but doesn't always happen.
And here's hole 18. Ottawa Park does have 19 holes, so this is the 18th hole. From the longs, this is pretty much a turnover mid-range.
Or a crush of a forehand.
Yeah, or if you can lace a forehand, it's a nice play, but I think the practical play here is a nice turnover mid-range. I get my compass out, I turn it over, maybe a little too much turned over, kind of bites into that hill there. And
both of our drives just about 5 to 10 more feet of height, and they work out pretty well. They're up there on the dance floor. Take my Heiserbomb Moab, most overstable thing I believe on the market. Just toss it up there.
It even rivals my Justice in stability. I mean, I think most of us know what a Justice does, and I mean, I think it rivals the Justice, if not is more overstable.
And then, both raking in our threes, heading on to the final hole, the 19th hole at Ottawa Park. Standard play, just a big, huge hyzer. Taking my blue PD, letting it ride that hyzer. Puts me about 15 out for a birdie look.
I'm going to elect with a thumber here with a criminal. I just like to, for open shots under 350, just like to air out the criminal there. And it actually worked out pretty decent. Can't really see it. It's just to the left of these string of trees, basket high. And with about a 25-foot turbo. Dead center chains.
And then here I am to finish my round at 2 down. And
the 2 brought me back to 3 up. I mean,
2 down?
I definitely could have shot better,
Like 5
but
up?
I'm not too mad with the 3 up.
Certainly happy with the 2 down here.